So, welcome. I wanted just to check in with you all and see how you were sort of following our session, but also how your week has been.
Oh, yes, I have been very well. That session we did on Friday was very, very good and helpful to me. I had, like I told you at the session, I had a good connection and I felt very relaxed and I really enjoyed it. And that also gave me motivation to think about doing meditation more often on a regular basis. I started watching series about how to meditate in Netflix
Okay.
because because of this session. So that's good. And I did it. I have watched 2 episodes, and I did a bit what you were saying. To us take a couple of minutes, different times of the day, and that's good. I find more helpful when someone is doing the meditation and I'm listening to that person, like we're doing with you. And I also have done about three to 5 minutes meditation with my son in the evenings.
Wow.
So yeah, so
How's
that's
that
very
one?
nice. So it's been really good. So I've been feeling relaxed and good. Good about
Great.
yeah. So it's
You're
good.
like star pupil. This is
Thank you.
if, if ever I wanted to say, so what would be the benefits of somebody coming to your course? I'd be like,
No, thank you.
amazing.
I feel it's been really good for me. I feel it was I needed it, and it came to in the right time for me. And when I was younger, I used to go to a meditation group in Mexico when I was about 18 to 19.
Okay.
But then I stopped. I came to England, I think when I was 21, and I'm 45. So I stopped. I stopped it. I didn't do it. And my older sister used to tell me that she does meditation sometimes, and she was saying, "Oh, you should do it." But I didn't get the incentive until
La,
I've
la,
done
la,
this,
la, la.
until I'm doing this workshop with you. That
Brilliant.
motivated me because the first session I felt really, really good. So that was very nice.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I think, I don't know, we'll go around the group and see how everyone else has done, but it is, what you said there about sort of being the right time.
Yes.
We can read books that say the same things.
Mm,
We know it. A lot of time we know it. And then
mm,
sometimes it's just at the right time and then putting
mm,
it in. So, well,
So yeah, I've done a little bit. Just as you got into bed, I would lie there for a few minutes and go through my body, like feel my toes, feel my legs, and go up my body. And then in the morning also, I did it for a few minutes before I got up out of bed. So I'd say I did it about 3 times. That's it. And I
well,
haven't done it with my kids.
no, but I would say though, like, how many times had you done it the previous week?
None. And I have to say, I think you do it better because we're listening to your voice, and I feel that's a bit more calmer than you kind of thinking it in your head. And I have to say, on Friday night, I actually died in bed. I had a great sleep, and I thought, oh, that's really. I feel it was that really relaxed me, if you know what I mean.
That's great. And that was just you though, lying in bed and going through it yourself and then falling asleep, or did you listen
Yeah.
again to the recording?
No, I just lay there and kind of went through it in my mind. So maybe I should listen to the recording.
Well, maybe I think one of the reasons why when people come together, it kind of increases the effects. It's a deeper experience, and I think this is why I never just do one thing. It's like come together as a group, practice by ourselves. Um, you
Has
know,
somebody got chickens?
it's
Sorry.
yeah.
it's my chickens. I was thinking I'd
No,
look out the window to see what's going on out there. I'll have a quick look. No, we're okay. We have a fox. They're in a. They are in a coop.
Oh.
They are safe, but they do get a little bit frazzled when Mr. Foxy comes round.
Mm.
No, I
Yeah.
think that was just a hello. I'm here.
I'm here.
Maybe the egg's been laid. Exciting times. Oh gosh. Well, look, fair play to her for even doing it because I have been to many a workshop and not thought anything about it between workshops. So the fact you've actually, gone away and experienced doing it yourself.
I think she wants to join in.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. I've I've had a good week actually. In terms of I already do meditation, and I use the sound bowls and everything myself. And but funny is it is because on Friday evening I do my own little session with some other people. But it's always good to attend other people's sessions because it's different. It's way different, and it does help. It does help. It does relax. To me, it really relaxed. Not just the evening, but in general, like the next few days, I don't know, I felt different. But yeah, but like I said, and I used to affirmations and gratitudes, throughout the week. So yeah, but it's always good. It's always good to to have to attend some other people's sessions, really, because it's kind of like different when you do it on your own, and when someone else does it, and you listen to them.
Yeah, completely. And I think this is the thing about giving you guys the opportunity just to this is for you.
Mm.
And you're right, this is about the kind of the caring for the carers. Even if we know what we could be doing, and even if we are doing a bit of meditation, a bit of scanning, and all the rest of it, there's something really lovely about coming together and just going, I don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
I'm literally just turning up.
Mhm.
Don't have to do anything. It's all going to be done for me. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So with that, I was thinking, how did I want to do today's session? And I know we didn't have very long last time for the sound. So I wondered if we would start with a little bit of a sound bath today, and have a 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the sound before we do you know, the business of the science. How does that sound?
Yeah, very good. Sounds great.
So I'm going to turn my screen off because I'm going to fumble around my little tiny space. Get yourself comfortable, get a blanket, sort yourselves out. You can put your video off if you want to, keep it on, whatever feels good for you. And I will see you in a minute or so. And just a reminder that if at any point during the session you feel uncomfortable, if the sound isn't working for you, then feel free to either let me know or to move or to just make yourself more comfortable. Right, so we're going to begin by just beginning with a body scan, and it always pays to start with the breath. So as you're lying there, just taking a moment to acknowledge your breath, witness your breath. So we can breathe a long, slow, silken breath up through the nostrils, passing the back of the throat. And you're going to feel how it rises in your chest, expands your stomach, expands the ribs and releases back out into the world. So this breath is gentle, a slow breath. So we're not trying to force it to do anything, but we are just starting to slow down. So when you're breathing out, you're going to follow your breath all the way to the very end. So this might mean allowing your stomach, your navel to squeeze back a little bit towards the spine. Just encouraging gently that breath to fully extend before breathing back in again. Now we're going to scan down our bodies. Again, we're just noticing where we're at with our bodies today. So first of all, you may feel your connection points on the ground, on the sofa or wherever you're sitting. So we're starting to get a sense of the weight of your body. And then feeling as you scan down from the head, just tuning in with your mind's eye. So you're really getting a sense of the structure of your body. So we have the bones, the muscles, all our internal organs. It's quite a busy little place inside our bodies. So scanning down, you may find some parts are more comfortable or more restricted than others. So you can feel free to move your body into position, realign your body, or you can breathe in to any places that you feel are maybe a little dense, a little restricted. Very gently just expanding your breath and directing your awareness towards whatever part of that body may be. So starting to connect our mind with the physical. Just really enjoying this moment of coming home to your physical self. So in the shamanic traditions, before they start any journey, they like to know where you're starting from. And that's what we're doing here. Just noticing where we are. No judgments. Gratitude was mentioned earlier today. This is a lovely moment to send a little gratitude to your body, even with all its aches and pains and things that may be a little out of whack for us. We're just saying, hi, thank you. You're working really hard for me. Our heart pulsing, the stomach contracting, All the cells in our body is communicating. And knowing beyond the physical, we have these energy lines as well, running up and down our body, into all the organs. So this electromagnetic energy that surrounds us. Just showing us how vibrant we are, how alive we are. Just really enjoying those connection points of your body, your spine, your arms, past your hips, the weight of your legs. Just feeling your whole body from head to toe, down the fingertips, and getting a sense of the ebb and flow within your body. So just like your breath is ebbing and flowing, getting a sense of expansion and release within your whole body. Ebb and flow. Ease. And beginning to bring your awareness to what you can hear. So this may be sounds within your body, in your own room, and coming through the speaker. So becoming familiar with your environment. Ears are just searching out for familiarity. And again, there's no judgment for what you can hear. We're just noticing, helping our nervous systems to relax. And know whatever you can hear is all part of your experience. Just noticing and letting go. No judgments. Now taking a moment to think about your intention for today. Where would you like the sound to go? So whilst there is an element of letting go of control, we can start to sow those seeds in our mind. Start to align to the vibration of what it is that would help us to feel our best. How would you like to feel at the end of the session this week? Where would you like some ease and some flow brought to? Some lightness, some clarity. Remembering that the sound is very beautiful, coherent, full of harmony. And once you've set your intention, let it go. And know that the sound will go where it's needed most. I'll have a few minutes of the sound, and then there'll be a period of silence at the end, not for too long, but just enough to let the sound settle in your body, and I'll let you know when the session has ended. Going to begin. Beginning to bring your awareness back to your body. Scanning down. Using your mind's eye to have a little exploration inside yourself. How are you feeling? Can you visualize this energy within you that is expanded, flowing with greater ease, really enjoying this space that you've created for yourself by turning up today. Just feeling the weight of your body all the way down to your feet, your fingertips. Giving a little smile of appreciation for all that your body does. And just bringing your awareness to your intention that you set earlier. Just really feeling how that feels in your body to have brought that into your reality. And when you're ready, gently giving your toes a bit of a waggle, your feet, your hands, having a stretch. Just really enjoying that luxury of comfort of a stretch. And when you're ready, gently blinking your eyes open, welcoming yourself back. And when you're ready, gently sitting yourself up, coming back to the group. So, I like to give ourselves just a little bit of a pat down. So just really coming back into our bodies and really massaging the face a little. Chest, giving our arms a squeeze. Our stomach, back, legs, all the way down to the feet if you can reach them. Give your feet a bit of a squeeze if you can reach them. And brush up the legs, brush up the arms, our bodies, and then hands together, and breathe in, stretch, and round. Take my earplugs out. And welcome back. So, just a quick tune in with everyone. How are you feeling? I'm going to ask you to unmute because I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I'm very good. Very, very good. Very relaxed. It felt I was flying somewhere else. It felt very, very good. Yes. For a minute I've lost myself somewhere else. I don't know where, but yeah. No, very good. Very, very relaxed. My whole body is very relaxed. My mind, it's very very good, very good. I feel very good.
Thanks, Steph. I think what you said there was really interesting because that kind of being released from our body really only happens through meditation and the sound, and that's just pure relaxation for our nervous system. Like, that's the ultimate. So I'm really glad you found that space. Thank you. How are you?
It was very good. Yes, it was like visiting other places. You know, it felt a bit, for me, it felt like a bit like being in space, and also being near water with stones, like by a, you know, like a not very, like a shallow bit of a river or a stream, somewhere like that. It was very nice. It was very good.
So, and again, it's interesting you said about the stream and the water, because that idea of white noise
Yeah.
you get from the ocean, the streams,
Yeah.
any kind of white noise, rustling of leaves,
Hmm.
that's very soothing to the nervous system as well.
Yes. Very. Yes.
It's something that our minds can't really latch onto,
Mm.
so we're kind of compelled just to let go because there's nothing to make sense of. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Thank you.
Very nice.
So yeah, I think I had a little snooze. Because you know all the noises, it kind of clears your head. You're not thinking, oh, what are we going to have for dinner? Oh, I've got to put that washing on or whatever. I just forgot about all that. And with that, all that noise of the leaves and the circle, bongs, it just makes you forget everything that you're supposed to be thinking about and just relaxes you. So when I kind of, at one stage, I was like, am I supposed to be getting up? Is it morning? For a second, you know, which was really nice. But then you're a bit, oh, crumbs.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I love about the sound is I used to I tried to meditate. I did my little transcendental meditation when I was back in my 20s, and I was just like, what is this? I don't understand. While sitting on my sofa knowing I needed to meditate, but not really having a clue what I was doing. And with the sound, because my mind is so busy,
Yeah.
the sound, as you said, just captures it and just goes, and you're off.
Relax.
It's like, me and my brain, I just need as much much support as possible just to switch off. And that's what I love about learning, to bring a smoothly segue into the polyvagals sciencey bit, because I think that's what I really appreciated about learning about the polyvagal theory, is that I've been doing sound for 10 years, and I have very much learned about how the sound, works with the energy field in our body. But then with learning the polyvagal theory, it just adds that other layer of, oh, that's why it works. I like to know why. I'm very much a why person, and I think having different tools at our disposal, knowing there's a very clear correlation to the biology in our body, uh, just puts my chattering, questioning mind at ease. I think it just kind of just gives me that little bit of certainty as to, it's not just, I'm not just making it up. It's a real thing. So I just wanted to have a quick recap of last week. Da, 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 da. Okay. So we have the vagus nerve starting in the head, wandering through our body. All these little bits here are, how it connects into the various organs, and this is our pelvis. And it's connected to the autonomic nervous system, the umbrella of the autonomic nervous system, which is the fight or flight of the sympathetic nervous system. And then the parasympathetic nervous system is the heart. It's all the openness, the ease of existence. It's what helps us to relax. It's where we need to come back to if we're not to be operating up there. And the other part of it is the immobilization. And that's where basically we've gone so far into the sympathetic nervous system that actually we've just cut out. So you might quite literally faint, collapse, but pretty much you're playing dead, which is what this little creature is here. And you know, emotionally, that is, we're offline. You know, nobody's home. We're certainly not connecting. And this has been labelled the autonomic ladder. So basically, this is how we are learning to see our emotional states as just being a biological response. We're just somewhere on the ladder. We think we're having an emotion. We think we are acting a certain way and it's come out of nowhere. But actually, it's a purely biological response and we're somewhere on the ladder. How is that? Does that feel familiar and comfortable for people? Did you notice, did you even think about the polyvagal theory last week and the ladder and the nervous system? It's a little nod.
Yeah. It came to my mind for a few seconds. I mean, I didn't really like sit down and ponder, but yeah, I just thought about this ladder.
Perfect, because that's what I'm going to just keep encouraging us to do. Because that's what gives us power, really. That's what helps us keep a little bit of distance between what is happening either out there or even with us. There's a very logical and very real explanation for things. So even though it may seem like an irrational feeling or an irrational behaviour that we are doing or somebody else is doing, actually what we're learning is, well, it all makes complete sense to our nervous system. Our nervous system is just doing what it's doing, but we actually have tools that we can use, whether it's meditation, the sound, or other things we're going to learn. So, going back to this one. So basically, just to remind you about the book, I don't know if you came on the taster, but this is one of the books that I first came across about the polyvagal theory, which is fantastic. So if you get a chance, I would highly recommend having a read, because whilst it talks around autism, you know, the polyvagal theory affects everybody. But it is particularly interesting given the our children, whether it's autism, ADHD, and other complex neurological needs they have. And the key word here, I think, is always brain plasticity. I don't know if you've come across that word before, but just the idea of, yes, our brains may be the way they are at the moment, but they're mouldable, they're changeable. We have the power to recreate our brain. So, look, the brain, there we go. So we're going to talk about something called the social engagement system today. And this is really, really key with how we interact with our fellow humans. And particularly starting to think about how maybe our children relate to people in their world. So I've kind of done it super, super basic. If you have any questions, do just give us a shout as I'm going through it, but I just wanted to be very clear. So our brain. So your brain has billions of neurons. They are the cells in the brain that communicate with other cells. They transmit and receive signals to enable processes such as thought via specialised connections called synapses. When there are lots together, they become a neural pathway. So basically what that means, cells in the brains, they're constantly firing electrical magnetic thought between synapses together. And the neural pathway, I often think of a bit like a record player as well, because we can have these grooves. So the idea behind neuroplasticity is sometimes we get stuck in a particular groove, but what we can do is we can create a new groove. We can, through the use of the techniques we're learning, we can knock that needle over to another groove and create something completely different. So these neural pathways are connected to nerves in your brain that are connected to other parts of your body. So thank you, Encyclopedia Britannica, for this picture. Okay, so brain, spine, and what you're going to see is they're connected to a lot of the things going on in our face. We've got our ears, the tongue, as well as going down to the heart, the lungs. You've got the vagus nerve in the brain, big nerve running down, coming out into the face, the tongue, the teeth, the eyes, the nose. So what this means is that these nerves control the muscles we need to engage with our outer world, because we're human beings and this is how we communicate. So the eye muscles we need for seeing, looking, engaging, the facial muscles we need because this is how we show our emotions. This is how human beings cue other human beings to communicate. Because you know that if I am frowning, then something's probably going to be wrong, because that's what we've been socially cued to know. The nerves go to the ear, so it affects how we hear. It goes to the how do I pronounce this? Pharyngeal muscles. Basically, the tone of voice, the ease of speech. Because again, if we're using our ears, we are, and we're going to learn about this next week, about the cues of safety and danger. We are listening out for shouting voices, dangerous sounds. But the tone of voice is very, very important to the majority of neurotypical people. And again, if we're looking at people who are non-neurotypical, then obviously you can start to see how, if we are not connecting properly with our vagus nerve, if the vagus nerve is not firing on all cylinders, so to speak, then it's going to impact how we hear, how we see, how we speak, how we even, turn our heads and engage with whoever's, talking to us. Does that make sense so far? So, yes. What does this mean? It means that we can smile, we can listen, we can raise our eyebrows, we can do all the things that as social animals we are cued to respond to. Other animals don't. We do as human beings. But it only happens when we feel safe. It does not work so well when we're in fight, flight or immobilization. So I don't know about you, but I know when I'm stressed, my movements are a lot more erratic. I'm really not listening to you, and I'm certainly not smiling. I am in my headspace, busy, 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 da, 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 whatever. Even more important if we're looking at, you know, children with who aren't neurotypical, because we can start to look at their behaviours as being a biological response. Not always. This is a broad umbrella. So I want to reassure people who you know, have children who have very complex needs. You know, learning about the polyvagal theory isn't going to suddenly go, oh wow, look, we are now in a completely different place with myself or my child. But it will always help, because we all have a nervous system, and we can start to see how our responses are coming from a place of fight or flight or immobilization, and how we can start to bring ourselves back to our heart space. So our heart space is smiling, listening. Our heart space means that we can engage with the world. And also that means for our children that they can engage with the world. Therefore, so to learn to move up and down the ladder, we can become flexible. Another word for flexible is resilience. You know, we hear the word resilience a lot. Resilience is flexibility, the ability to go to that place but then come back again. And we are learning that the body and the mind talk to each other. So, you know, you've got the brain firing out signals to the face, but you've got the vagus nerve is sending responses up to the brain. So you've got the brain and the body are interconnected, which means that we can kind of fool it a little bit. We can take control of it. We can have the capacity to change our body, which will change our signals in our brain, which will therefore have an effect back on to the nervous system. Does that make sense? Do we have any questions? Okay. So really what I wanted to end with today was a bit of stretching. So if you looked at the nervous system here, so you can see that it is connected to you know, you've got this nerve running down the front of your body all the way down to the pelvic floor. So we can, when you are stressed, everything tightens up. So what we're starting to do is to stretch out our body, stretch out the muscles, stretch out this nerve, because what that does is it sends a signal to the brain that actually I'm relaxed. So I think, unless you've got any questions today, we can just end on a beautiful stretch. And this is something that we can use with our kids. This is something that we can use ourselves, and you'll probably find yourself doing it anyway. You know, we instinctively know, and you know, what reason why I put a picture, I thought it was a dog, but I think it may be a hyena. Not quite as cute and cuddly as I thought it was. You know, the reason why they have in yoga downward facing dog is because whenever you see a dog get up from one place to the other, it will stretch. It will also shake itself out. And what it's doing is transitioning. It's very instinctively transitioning from one thing to the other, stretching out its nervous system. So you will find, you know, when you've been hunched over the computer all day, you're naturally, you know, everything's just kind of needing to be stretched. And yes, that is a physical response to the fact we've been hunched over our keyboard, but actually it's sending a signal to your brain to relax. And next week we'll start looking at the hormones side of things as to what happens when we do this. and just why it does impact the brain. So, super quickly, we're going to take our fingers, interlace them, elbows out to the side. And when we stretch up, so we're kind of used to stretching like that, you know, we do the stretch. But what we're doing is we're going to lift our heads and lift our chin, because the stretch will go all the way from the pelvic floor, all the way up your body. You're going to lift the chin up, because this is the fullest stretch. And then the really full stretch is you're going to stick your tongue out, because that is like the fullest stretch your body can do, because the vagus nerve attaches to the back of your tongue. So if you're stretching your tongue out, this is like the fullest stretch you can get. So, interlacing fingers, we're going to take a breath in through the nose, and then we're going to tilt our chin up and stretch, and then breathe out, but holding still, and breathe in again, and see if you can turn to the side just slightly, so feeling that stretch along the side of your body, back to centre, breathing in, stretching to the other side, back to centre, breathing in, sticking out your tongue, and if you're really going for it, you can go so you're making noise as well. So breathing in, fully stretch, tongue out, put the tongue in, and back down. Give yourself a little shake, it's like a little doggy. How was that? Did you enjoy that stretch?
Yes, very good.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is really quick way to, we've done the breathing. So last week I was saying, if you're stressed, you know, if you're transitioning, if whatever's going on for you, you know, pop yourself into the bathroom and take a breather. Adding this in just takes it to the next level. So with the breath, you're using your breath to control, you know, your breathing, which sends a signal to your brain that, oh, I'm calm because I'm breathing in a very calm fashion. Therefore, I can't be in fight or flight. I must be in my, you know, relaxed space. So by stretching out as well, again, you're sending a signal to all the organs in your body, bearing in mind that everything is connected, your organs are connected to the vagus nerve, which is connected to the brain. What you're sending is, oh yeah, that's cool, I'm relaxed, you know, I'm not constricted and actually, I have space. And so you're just recalibrating your nervous system to basically say, it's okay, I can come back here. So that is the homework for this week. If you find yourself getting agitated and tight and like, so you remember, you know, this facial jaw of ours, that little face massage that we did at the end of the sound bath, you know, this is really, really good. So again, you're just loosening up you know, the muscles, which will then loosen up the nerves, which will then send those signals to the brain. So there you go, yawning, fantastic. Yawning is a really good sign of relaxation as well. Oxygen to the brain, great for the jaw. Brilliant. So on that note, I'm going to say, just give yourself another little pat down, a nice squeeze, just to end the session. And I wish you well for the rest of your day and the week.
Thank you.
Do feel free to email me any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes,
How you got on.
me too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
And you. Bye.